Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the special board meeting of Monday, June 24th, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting to order and begin with the land acknowledgement. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, learn, and live. Trustees, are there any declarations of interest this evening? And I'm seeing none. There are no declarations of interest at this time. May I have a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda as distributed? Trustee Edwards, Trustee Brown, all in favor? Motion carries. Item 5 under recommended actions is concerning the naming of the unnamed North Oshawa Public School. And I would like to turn this over now to Superintendent Michael Bowman.
Through you, Madam Chair. The purpose of this report is to present a proposed name for the unnamed North Oshawa Public School to the Board of Trustees for consideration. In accordance with the school naming policy, a naming committee was struck, and the following members met on Tuesday, May 21st, Monday, May 27th, and Monday, June 10th. We had Deb Oldfield, trustee for Oshawa, Shailene Panillo, trustee for Oshawa, Julie Pigeon, representative from the Indigenous Education Advisory Circle, as well as Ben G. and Lisa S., students from our partner schools, Doreen Thomas, a community representative, the administrative team of Kyla McKee and Karan Slack of the unnamed North Oshawa Public School, as well as myself. There were 923 names submitted, including duplicates. Of those 923, we narrowed it down to 503 names, which remain for considerations once duplicates were removed. At our first meeting, we reviewed the selection criteria and the policies, which are included in your packages, Appendix A and B. And from that dialogue, we talked about consideration, including naming after individuals and future concerns that may evolve, variations of the same name, for example, a combination of streets being reduced to fewer options, and at the conclusion of the first naming committee meeting, 177 names remained. With that in mind, the second naming committee meeting, we used a dotmocracy system where each member proceeded to identify their top choices until we arrived at 8 potential names, which have been shared in the report. With the second round of consultation results, the committee met again to discuss the results and offer input into narrowing down to the top 3 choices, and finally to the recommended name. The following names were selected as the second and third choice. Number 2 was North Wind Public School. Number 3 was Grace Wind Public School. And the following name was selected as the recommended choice by the naming committee members. Mamawe Public School. With this recommendation, staff informed the committee that consultation would take place once more with the Indigenous Education Advisory Circle to ensure the accuracy of the translation and to address any additional considerations. Following consultation with an Anishinaabe language specialist, we learned that the word mamawe functions as an adverb and should not stand alone. The advisory member suggested pairing it with the verb ia, meaning to be located somewhere, resulting in the proposed name, Mamawe Yawug. They are gathered together here. With this new understanding, staff reconvened the naming committee and presented 2 options. Option 1, proceed with changing the name to Mamawe Yawug as recommended, or option 2, select the second choice, North Wind Public School, and utilize Mamawe Yawug as the school's motto or vision statement. As a result, the following name was selected as the recommended choice by the naming committee members. Mamawe Yawug Public School. They are gathered together here. The naming committee felt strongly that an Indigenous school name would demonstrate action and commitment to our Indigenous education policy and procedures and will offer the staff, students, and community an important opportunity to learn and grow together. A discussion about the significance of this gesture as a way to demonstrate allyship and action took place. There was also discussion of the importance of the school commitment to partnership with the Indigenous Education Department and Indigenous community for intentional planning, learning, and land-based focused activities. We as a committee and the administration team of Kyla McKee and Curran Slack understand that with this naming and action, there comes an obligation, an opportunity, and a responsibility which we fully embrace moving forward. Based on the recommendation of the school naming committee, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees select the first choice Mamawe Yewug Public School as the official name of the currently unnamed North Oshawa Public School in Oshawa, Ontario. Thank you, and I'm prepared to answer any questions if there are any.
On page 5, we have the recommendation. Will a trustee please put that forward? Trustee Oldfield?
I'd like to move that the board adopt the first choice of the naming committee, Mamawe Yewug Public School, as the official name of the currently unnamed North Oshawa Public School.
And a seconder? Trustee Brown? I'd like to open up the floor for discussion. Are there any questions or comments? And I'm seeing none, Michael?
Hi, Chair. It's Trustee Pinello. I have my hand up online.
Trustee Pinello, I didn't see your hand up there. Go ahead.
Thank you. Through you. No questions on my end. I just wanted to take a moment and give gratitude to Superintendent Bowman and everyone who was part of that committee. There was quite a lot of work and discussion and time put into it, and I think it really spoke to the ability to engage community, but also to, take the opportunity as trustees and people in this process to really learn about what our community members value. It was very insightful to read all of the names and all of the meanings that were put forward. It was very fun to go through each one and consider them as a group, everyone from trustees to staff to community partners and members and students. So I just wanted to, in case folks are watching this virtual meeting, I wanted to extend gratitude to them for all the time they put in to arrive at this, in particular for the consultation that was done with Indigenous communities to ensure that we were not only acting in good faith, but doing our due diligence to put forward a name that was grammatically accurate and honored the meaning and the true roots of the language. So I just wanted to extend that gratitude and thank trustees in advance for their consideration of the name.
Thank you, Trustee Pinello. Are there any further comments or questions? And I'm seeing none, so I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Motion carries. As there is no further business, I'd like to adjourn this meeting.